It's Spoilerin time, folks, where we take all the hard work on our other show, Cordkillers, where we figure out how to watch things, watch them, and talk about them. This week, we'll talk about Hannibal, episodes 5 and 6 of season 3, Rick and Morty, season 5, episode 2, and Loki, season 1, episode 3. I'm Tom Merritt. He's Brian Brushwood.
Heck yeah, dude. What are we starting with?
Let's start with Loki. The episode was called Lamentus. And we got thrown right into Sylvie and Loki, Sylvie and Loki in an adventure together to try to take the Snowpiercer train to the place where they will eventually be able to get off the planet, even though the thing doesn't get off the planet. I don't know. It was kind of a long episode. I enjoyed it. It may sound like I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't. It felt like an episode that would have been great if I was binging. But it just kind of let me like, okay, when's the next big event going to happen?
Tom, I can honestly say that this might be the most gorgeous of all the episodes so far, visually.
Wait, are you playing the Midwestern restaurant reviewer card?
I'm just saying, those colors, that was beautiful. That chaos. Also, I was impressed by the dedication of those mining cops when, as the moon is about to crash into their planet, they decide to beat up not just any random civilians, but the two who appeared to be running with purpose. I thought to myself, those people must really think they know what those citizens are up to and disapprove of those things.
By the way, if anybody doesn't know the Midwestern restaurant review thing, it come from an Olive Garden review in I think a Minnesota newspaper, where essentially slammed the place by talking about how good the design and the decorations were. And that feels like what you're doing, Brian. It feels like what you're doing. I'm just saying.
Oh boy, when I found out that Loki and the other Loki were like getting to know each other, and then the one Loki, I ain't never seen someone try to date their sister before. That was something.
Well, it's not even that. It's Are you at all intrigued on whether she's actually a Loki or the Enchantress pretending to be a Loki or something else?
That all sounds like things that were not made clear in this episode at all.
No, but I'm asking you, are you interested in finding those things out?
No, I mean, the only way I would know is if I was reading articles about this, so I don't know why that would even occur to me. I mainly spent the whole time kind of being grossed out by the multiple hitting on attempts in both directions between Loki and Loki. And yes, one could say that technically that's self-adoration, which is a very Loki thing to do. Don't know that I want to be watching it.
I stand by my opinion that this plays entirely differently in a binge. This is a very connected, connective tissue, whatever you want to call it, episode. This is an episode that if you're going straight from the previous one, ooh, Sylvie, I need to find out more. Oh, train. Okay. Where are they going next? Got to find out. You probably forget a lot of the things we're talking about.
It's like, imagine watching Back to the Future, but they'd carved out the part where Marty makes out with his mom and made it a whole episode out of just that one part.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, because you're going to be like, whoa, dude, whoa, I don't know if I'm okay. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I still am like chomping at the bit to watch the next Loki.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's the best Marvel show they've done. Full stop, no questions asked. We did get the story beat of finding out that Owen Wilson has been lying. Like they're all variants, is what we just found out, which is cool.
And they may not, and they don't know it.
Also, am I the only one who was like didn't believe for 1 second that the Jeep Jop was broken and that at any moment he might just pull it out and take him out? Like I felt no
holding
tension.
All those possibilities. I'm like, it's Loki. You never know. Like,
yeah.
He might be just messing around.
Well,
so,
that's why I don't take any weight on them hitting on each other, because this far into the show, you have to realize that Loki's whole thing is that he seems vulnerable, and that is his plan the whole time, to seem vulnerable, to get someone else vulnerable. so that he can do whatever treachery he wants to do. I think that both of them are doing that. I think that there's no. I thought it was interesting that they are clearly trying to play each other, and we have yet to see what those will turn into. But
the award for the chat hot take of the day goes to Gigaloop, who said if it's Doctor Who. This was the first time I remember. Before this, I thought, "Oh my God, it's Doctor Who in the MCU." And then the first 2 episodes, I was like, "No, it's even better than Doctor Who. It's Rick and Morty." This was the first episode. I'm like, "No, this is Doctor Who."
Yeah, and it was part 1 of a 2-part Doctor Who.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else on Loki this week?
No, just a couple of silly noodling. Like Loki's a bad Loki, keeps telling the truth all the time. Although I will sing the praises of that whole what sounded like Gaelic song, but was probably Asgardian or whatever.
It was an
like him
Asgardian
being
song.
the boisterous. All of that was delightful. It was silly. This was a silly episode.
It was a romp.
Sure.
That's what I'll call it.
If there was a word that meant romp but less fun, that's what this was.
I still
less
like
fun but
I
more
will
pretty.
say, I didn't realize till just now this is the first Loki I haven't watched twice.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's Loki, season 1, episode 3. Let's talk about Rick and Morty, season 5, episode 2, Mortiplicity. I'm probably a rube, but I fell for it. I loved this episode from beginning to end. Even, 10 minutes, 5 minutes in, when I'm like, oh, we're never going to know which one is the real Smith family. I was just leaned back and enjoyed the ride, enjoyed the jokes. It was a Dan Harmon written episode. Very Dan Harmon, which is always good stuff. What about you, Brian?
Did you see the movie Multiplicity that they're riffing on? Yeah. I watched that movie in the movie theater. I think we talked about this. I hated it in the movie theater because it had my full attention, but I loved it as kind of a casual HBO binge or whatever. It took me a while to realize, oh, this is one of those silly, everything's made of rubber things. And I once I became emotionally uninvested about 10 minutes in, it got better. But I mean, I don't know. We've seen a fair bit of this.
I really enjoyed this one. This is the first one this season that actually made me laugh out loud more than a couple of times. I liked that they teased that we were going to get interdimensional television.
Oh yeah,
and
no. That was the best magic trick. That was the one moment that I felt truly suckered. That was the as I put it, the frat boy prank of like, wait, come here, you got something on your shirt up. And then they got me good on that one.
And the new Mr. Meeseeks, Mr. Hunt Me.
yes. No. I'm not going to say that it won't grow on me, but in and of itself, it was. You already know my feeling. Once I lose any sense of stakes, I tend to dial out a little bit, and I felt a little bit of that.
Yeah, sure. And I don't know. It was a joke list essentially. It was a joke list, and if the jokes hadn't all been as funny as I thought they were, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. But the Highlander, where they're like, wait, nobody gets a Highlander reference anymore. There's so many good moments there.
I will point out that on Dan Harmon's Instagram, and I saw this because on Reddit I still follow the Harmontown subreddit. During the writing phase of this, Dan Harmon took a photo of the note card that Rob Schrab had written to mock Rob Schrab for just writing the words "Wenwolf." Everyone's saying werewolf. Why not ask when wolf? And sure enough, there's the bit right there on the show. It was great.
And then they're criticizing for bringing in the vampire. I mean, it is a testament that I don't really have that much more to say. It's not a deep episode. This is another romp, I suppose. This is just an episode to lay back and laugh at the jokes.
Yeah, you know what I'm just now realizing is maybe that moment, that fake out moment of interdimensional cable was them essentially coding like, hey, this is as close to that as you're going to get this season. We're not doing that again. So enjoy all of these one-note jokes with infinitely disposable families.
And I felt it was a relief because I'm like, oh, once I realized it was multiplicity, I was like, oh, I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to try to figure out who the real Smiths are. I can just relax and enjoy this. And I actually liked that. I preferred that this week.
And correct. Matt J. Awad in the chat says they did that in the previous season with all the memories. Although they directly called it out. They said out loud, "We're not doing interdimensional cable this year. It's an anthology. Go." So I feel like
Space Beth is this premise, right? And they brought her back at the it's all good. All good. Rick and Morty, season 5, episode 2. Let's talk Hannibal, season 3, episodes 5 and 6, Contorno and Dolce, which are bold move in what could be considered a slow episode to show snails for a very long time.
I was less worried about that.
I mean, I wasn't worried about it. I just noted it. I'm like, this is a very slow episode. He's talking about snails, and now he's showing them on screen for a little bit of time. Okay, fine. No, I get it. I felt like this was a very slow couple of episodes creeping in, the doors closing. Is Hannibal going to get away once again? He's leaving himself open to more ways he could get prosecuted. But we had a great moment where Jack seems to have got the upper hand this time, but he doesn't because Hannibal squeaks away. And then we just, at the very end of episode 6, see Will Graham's brain about to get sawed open. The saw goes into the head. They don't back off. And then, boom, next thing you know, I believe it's Will and Hannibal upside down, and Verger's got him.
Yeah. I mean, these 2 episodes felt like a pair. And I think we are clear out of the woods of the one character per episode story format from the very beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, that's long gone. You're right.
Man, it's very weird trying to understand this season of the show because so much of it, I watch it and I feel like, oh, this is kind of like, I'm sorry to the fans. I know there are a lot of fans of this, but we're getting through supernatural levels of maybe a little schmaltz, a little schlocky, we're really leaning into the visual aesthetic sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how much longer is on that fuse. We have heard that the second half of the season is better, or maybe there's a turn or something, but
change of tone perhaps.
Yeah. But I have a lot of side eye glances at some of the pacing stuff, and also just how long we're spending. It does seem weird that it was only until, in both of these episodes, we're still in Florence, where I don't know, I watched it and I feel like, oh, this is temporary. Florence is temporary. We will get to something else, or we will do some big whirlwind tour, but it feels weird kind of being rooted into Hannibal's dream life, basically.
Brian, what about you?
I, to be honest, just want to listen to the two of you guys talk. Pretty much the alpha and the omega of my take is quite simply, season 3 appears to me to be everything I was afraid this show would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that rhymed.
Wow.
It was poetic.
But I almost didn't want to start the show because I was afraid it was going to be the Monster Mash. And the first 2 seasons were a wonderful dream, but now the dream is over, and I'm watching the Monster Mash. Well, it's ridiculous. It's silly. It's silly.
It's become Flanderized, for sure. It is leaning into all of, Alana is some weird, badass private investigator now, and Jack is
anybody
being
who's
a rogue
dead could be alive. There's no consequences for everything.
Well,
we declared, we said there is no way Alana is alive after getting kicked out that window. And then she comes back and she's like, not only am I alive, but look how sexy I am. Also, I've got a cool cane. Also, I have a vendetta now. And he's like, it's me. Now I'm Mr. Plinkett.
Sperm.
I'm Mr. Plinkett with pigs. So
Well, see, that's what it is. Like the Alana stuff, I was wrong about that. That was maybe a bad three pointer, but like the especially the Verger stuff, like. No, not Verger. The doctor
practicing eating sausages. Like I'm pretending these are Hannibal's fingers.
Oh, the fingers will be more meaty, sir. Like that's
what is that garbage?
Well,
it's so bad.
I think my turning point was that the psychiatrist getting shot in the face
was somehow. I'm still hoping that
in the
that is
brain.
a fantasy.
in the brain, not like
With
not like her, like
back of the skull.
Yes. What? So it would be really cool if we were like, if we came back to this. Like next episode, they're like, this is all a joke. We Roseanne'd it, everybody. Sorry, it's like all a dream. None of that happened.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm all the way out, but I'm on temporary pause. I'm going on mental holiday right now during
to your mind palace.
Yes,
we are not doing a show next week, so we don't have to watch. We don't have to watch 2 for next week, but we do have to watch 2 for the week after that. And I note that we switch from our typical naming convention, which has been, naming it after courses in a meal, to a new naming convention in the next 2 episodes. The next episode is Digestivo. That's the end of the meal. And then the episode after that is called The Great Red Dragon.
Oh.
So and Red Dragon is, of course, what everything's based on. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
If there's a change in tone, I'm expecting it might happen in The Great Red Dragon.
We are
change
ready.
of tone will be in the color of my poo after I eat Hannibal Lecter. I've been practicing with Vienna sausages.
Exactly. The change of tone will be, all of it is Verger. It's all from Verger's point of view from here on out.
And I come out ahead because the show is called Verger.
I did. One of the things I liked in these 2 episodes, and I don't remember where it happened, but I liked that we finally really understood what is going on with the police in Florence and why nobody is taking down the man who is clearly Hannibal Lecter. They are all so corrupt by this Verger money that no one wants to do real police work. They want to become bounty hunters. And I really loved. I thought that was a great moment with him going to the to the payphone and talking and trying to figure out the legalities of that. It opened the door wide on why is this all allowed to happen?
They also imply that it's been this way for quite a while, and this is just the latest in a string of bounties, and that's why you shouldn't do that kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought that was that felt like real substantive plot progress, which is unfortunate because it's background.
But I am Lydia.
Yeah.
I am his wife.
Were you wondering what's up with my face? No, I wasn't. Why? Why would you bring that up? Well, I was pushed off a train. You didn't ask. So
yeah, and then he beats her.
Nobody's curious about this. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh my goodness.
I believe that may be it. Is there anything else?
Unless you'd like to bring me back, it's a new character, Verger. I'm a film critic now.
Mr.
This
Verger.
episode of Spoilerin Time, of course, brought to you by Verger Bites. Verger Bites available in combo-sized snacks wherever fine snacks are sold.
Verger
that's
finger
Hannibal.
foods. They're fingers. I'm Hannibal
And
Lecter.
phone. That's Hannibal season 3, episodes 5 and 6. Like I said, next week we will not be doing a show because of the July 4th holiday here, the Independence Day holiday here in the United States. But the week after that, we will be talking about Rick and Morty episodes 3 and 4, Loki episodes 4 and 5, and the movie Black Widow. So you're off the Hannibal hook for a little bit because Black Widow comes out between now and our next show on July 12th.
How great would it be if Verger showed up? He's like,
Nah, I like
Widow.
your body, Black Widow.
Let me see your fingers.
I was going to have
Scarlet.
a baby with my sister.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God, the baby stuff.
Let's do a baby, Scarlet. I'll do that instead of Margot.
Are they fingers
This,
or legs? I love them.
This has been Spoilerin time. Thank you for supporting us. Patreon.com/Cordkillers, where you get these show episodes early and after talk. So go sign up now. Patreon.com/Cordkillers. We'll spoil you again next time.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.